This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Because at Blinds.com, the only thing we treat better than windows is you. Visit Blinds.com now for up to 50% off with minimum purchase plus a professional measure at no cost. Rules and restrictions apply.
Hello and welcome to the 1865, the Nottingham Forest podcast. We all hope you're having a great summer. And on this 1865 summer podcast special, we're joined by Forest fan and avid shirt collector, Mark Green. How are you, Mark?
Good evening. Yes, all very good. It's great to get some, how should we say, off-season Forest chat. I think we all get a lot of withdrawal symptoms this time of year, don't we? It's there's not a lot going on. It was only the other day I saw a man walking up just the road next door to us wearing a pair of Forest shorts, and it's amazing the excitement. Not men in shorts, but seeing the Forest shorts, and it's a conversation starter, isn't it? It feels like the world's coming back together a bit better. Yeah, definitely. I think since we've been in the Premier League, I think it is exhausting. If you go home and away and everything, and you've got the media scrutiny, and sometimes when it gets to the end of the season, it's nice to have that break, but you only get a month off. Then obviously the back for pre-season transfer rumours, people going into meltdown because certain players have left the club, etc. So it's never dull being a Forest fan. So, let's get into it then. So how long have you been a Forest fan, and where did your love for collecting football shirts begin? So my Forest history is through my dad and granddad. So we all grew up in West Sussex, down on the seaside, exactly 186 miles away from the city ground. And my dad and granddad originally come from Grantham up in Lincolnshire. So what's that, 20 odd miles down the road from Forest. They moved down probably mid-60s down to Sussex and Worthing. And then me and my brother, we grew up as Forest fans. A very select bunch. There was only me and my brother in our school who were the mighty Reds. But that's how it started, really. So, like I say, 65, I think Dad came down. He went to games up in London and stuff throughout the late 60s. And we really started catching the bug probably, it must be, what am I now, 47. So it must have been sort of mid-80s. Latter part of 80s, it really kicked off. So I can remember sort of 86, 87, that sort of time. First game we went to would have been 1991, I think it was, Southampton at home. It was quite a unique group. Me and my brother were in at school. It's brilliant being slightly different. Obviously, we are Rody Forest, and it puts you on a slightly different place to someone like the Arsenal and what would have been Liverpool at the time. Everyone was Liverpool fans. So when it's good, it was really good. Obviously, when it goes slightly wrong, you're slap bang in the spotlights.
We can't get a tackle in to save our lives at the moment.
Why not?
Because we're not competitive enough. It's as simple as that. And it's got nothing to do with cup finals. I think we're just pansies.
Let's go to the late 70s, early 80s, and because on this podcast we talked about Forest shirts. Forest and Cloughie were in their absolute plump at this time, league champions, League Cup winners, double European Cup winners, and Forest at the time were like pin up for sports giants Adidas. I mean, there's an iconic photograph with Trevor Francis in like the Forest home shirt with the red stripes and the white stripes on the red shirt and everything. And I just thought it was a really neat, iconic kit, and Forest were massive back then, weren't they?
It's a simplistic shirt, isn't it? It's red, white Adidas. First of all, you know it's Forest because it's got the super badge on the front and it's really clear and prominent, isn't it? Adidas it always looks cool with Adidas, doesn't it? We've had different brands over the years, haven't we? But Adidas of that era looks really, really quite cool, doesn't it, as well? And also those pictures are they're worldwide, aren't they, of that Forest kit, aren't they? You see them, don't you, in UEFA publications and museums and things like that. It's not just it's Forest, it's a bit of footballing history, isn't it, from that period of that time, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I just think Adidas at that point, and in recent years, the Adidas kits have been decent, haven't they? But they're just iconic, aren't they? I just think with other kits, they just go a bit mad over in terms of design and everything. But I think the
Adidas as well. Even if you had no Adidas badge, you know it's an Adidas shirt, don't you?
Yes,
and
definitely.
No other brand can do that, can they?
No, they can't. They can't. So, but moving from the late 70s, early 80s, and with the explosion of TV sponsorship in grounds, etc., Forest were the first team to have a league game live on television against Spurs in '83, and this was the first time we saw Forest have a shirt sponsor with Japanese electronic giant Panasonic being our shirt sponsor. And I think even then, after like the European Cup days, I think that even that shirt was iconic, wasn't it? Because I think we also had it in yellow and blue with Panasonic on the front, probably like 81, 82. I think it was. I
think that was the first pinstripes, wasn't it? They came through, didn't they?
That's right.
And I think those pinstripes on the red we've had it, haven't we? It's come back and gone. And it looks like it's probably going to be this coming season. It's coming back again, isn't it? I'm not sure what you think as well. A sponsor can really make a shirt, can't it, as well? You think those shirts, Panasonic being a big brand, again, even that looks good, doesn't it, on those era shirts, doesn't it? It's a good sponsor to have.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be probably like the common theme in this podcast is that a certain team makes a shirt, if you know what I mean. If they're successful in that shirt, there's a lot of great memories with it. And 9 times out of 10, if the team's playing well, being successful, everybody's going to remember that shirt. And I know these shirts were just after like the European Cup, the second one against Hamburg in Madrid. But yeah, very neat. The sponsor is like really prominent, isn't it? So yeah, it's a really nice kit from that season. I mean, we'll talk about it in a bit, but we did delve back into that yellow and blue for the anniversary season. So, moving on. So in the early 80s, Panasonic were dropped after I think it was a season or 2 seasons, and we had Wrangler, Skoll, Homales, and Shipstons. Shipstons were our sponsor for the late 80s, and even with that great second Brian Clough's second great team, and I mean even those shirts when was Black playing Arsenal in the FA Cup, Man United winning the Littlewoods Club at Wembley, they were also iconic shirts, and you still see people wearing them today for Forest matches, don't you?
Oh yeah, I think the Shipstones thing especially, isn't it? Shipstones almost feels like Forest, doesn't it? You see, I think they still sell it now, don't they? There's another brewery does it, but yeah, it feels like that is Forest. It's not a separate company, is it? In a funny sort of way, but I think you're definitely right with the good eras make the shirts something special on a different level, don't they? That would have been definitely the sort of era I was growing up with. Those Shipstone shirts towards the latter part. It was an annual trip to Wembley, wasn't it? At some point, even multiple trips some years. And it was, the Shipstones on the front. It changed slightly, didn't it? Like that whole Homales to Shipstones. And sometimes you see shirts without the sponsors on, which equally, I think, from that era still look good. But it's, it goes hand in hand, and it's Shipstones and Forest.
Yeah, there's sort of, even when we played Arsenal and had that like iconic Shipston's white shirt, really nice. And again, it goes back to a memory with Brian Rice scoring that goal.
It's a good turn, and what a superb ball. Onside, Brian Rice for Nottingham Forest. Can he finish it this time? 2-0. Rice scores, and Brian Clough closer now to an FA Cup semi-final than ever before. And his son Nigel made the goal that may have killed off George Graham's team.
When you look at it from a collecting point of view, it's that sort of era and then backwards, which money has got mad, isn't it, these days, isn't it? You think a mid-80s, 85 Skoll shirt, one, very rarely do they ever turn up, do they?
Yeah.
But B, you're knocking you're comfortably 500, aren't you? I would have thought on some of these shirts that turn up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always like looking on eBay and various places for shirts and things like that, and you look at them and think, oh, shall I, shan't I? And it's that fine balance of like, I can't really afford it, but that shirt may never turn up in a long while. And there's like a lot of shirts like that. You see them once and that's it. You might not see them for a good few years. And but even we'll get to it in a second. But that third shirt from 91 to 93, the lime green one, what Forest have done a remake, haven't they, in recent years in the club shop? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, what's the story about that? Because I've
funny you should say that.
Because
funny you should say that. This bad boy. We're talking this one, aren't we?
That's the one. Yeah. Well, even the listeners can't see it, but it's the lime green one with the pattern on the front. But I've looked all over the internet to try and find like a picture of that shirt being worn in action. I think we only wore it it was either 92 or 93. I'm pretty sure of that. Against Lincoln United to open their new facilities or something like that. And
that's what I heard. Yes.
Yeah. And I think Forest only sell 1,200 of them, so something like that. And then then the rumours were Cloughy didn't like it, so that was it. It was binned because obviously back then he ran the club from top to bottom. But yeah, that's what I've heard. But whether you've heard different.
The Lincoln thing, yes, I've heard that as well. Yes, the friendly, so the changing room's been open, and that was worn. I think they wore it. I think I've seen a picture somewhere. They, like you say, they are very few and far between. The green shirt, I think they wear like white shorts with it or something on the day. It's a really weird Forest combo kit they're wearing on the day. But yeah, never worn in anger beyond that, was it? And
No.
Yeah, a very limited run on that. Well, but that's my second one. I did have one previously. So me and my dad have. Every time one turns up on eBay, and they tend to go, don't they, 200 plus maybe, I'll screenshot it and I'll send it to Dad. Back in the day when we had it back in the 90s, you sort of wore it for a bit, and then it was a bit of a. It's amazing what you know afterwards, but it was a bit of a hand-me-down to my dad. So the version, my original one, was probably 75% creosote from the fences, and probably another 20% rips, nicks, and it was destroyed, absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do not let him forget the fact that they do go for silly money. He's basically creosoted a bit of Forest history.
Because I was looking for one for ages, and one come up on the internet about 8 months ago, and the guy wanted £1,000 for it, and I kept messaging every single day. I said, "You're not going to get £1,000. Here's me offer." And I got it for like 325 or something like that. So I knocked him like just shy of £700 off. But they are very, very rare, and like I says, there's not many about them. Anybody who has one, do not throw it out, because you will probably never see that shirt again. It is a really rare icon. And Chelsea had the same design early 90s when they were sponsored by Commodore, but theirs was yellow and blue. Yes. They wore their shirt.
I think Everton as well, wasn't it? Everton, I think the same as well. I think they had the yellow and blue chevrons on it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they wore theirs more than ours, because looking at it, it's like, it is iconic, but back then it was probably a bit, I don't fancy that one. But the rarer the shirt in any football club, the more iconic and more sought after it is, isn't it? So but yeah, moving on. So it's the inaugural Premier League season 1992, and is it right that season we had Labatt's, because Nigel Mansell brought his racing car, didn't he, to the City Ground for the sponsorship unveiling? Did Forest have like Shipstons for so many games and Labatt's did the alternative? Because if you look up at pictures through that season and watch footage, Shannon's when he scored that iconic goal against Liverpool, first live goal on Sky Sports, it's Labatt's. But then when you look further down the season, I'm sure we wore Shipstons a couple of times during that season. Is that correct?
That's what it was. Yes, I think you can only buy it with Shipstones in the shop, couldn't you? The Labatt's ones, like you say, a bit like that one. They are super rare. I correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the Shipstones were for normal games as such. Labatt's was on the telly. I might be wrong on that. That's the way I always always thought about it. And then Labatt's was permanently on that, like that shirt you alluded to, the white one with the arm chevrons. That tended to be the blue Labatt's.
Yeah.
Just for away. But yeah, I thought Labatt's home on TV, Shipstone's home not on TV.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout, is it? Because obviously Labatt's will probably want obviously shown on television for sponsorship reasons and things like that. But yeah, again, I know that season turned out to be a bit of a disaster with obviously us getting relegated and Cloughy retiring and everything. But that shirt with the pinstripes, that is an iconic shirt in my eyes.
Oh yeah, it is good. It's got good and bad memories in it because we obviously re-wore it the next season for the promotion season, which was good. I wore that for the Cup semi-final this year, the pinstripe one, and I think I had it on in the first game back, the West Ham game at home. I wore it that day as well, so it's kind of slightly lucky up to the point of Wembley last April. Unfortunately,
I'd call it a bittersweet shirt.
Yeah,
like I say, it's iconic, but then obviously there's quite a few bad memories wearing it. So as we got relegated in '93 and went into the Division 1 season in '94, we did have a really, really nice away shirt, and I will still say to this day it's the best away shirt we've ever had, and it's the blue Labatt's one, which we wore at Man United the following season when we beat them 2-1. I think we were the first team to beat Man United over a year, but that again is an iconic shirt. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree, yes, and I'll allude to a bit more in a second. But yeah, very good. Yeah, you think that and the turquoise shorts really set it off, didn't it? Yeah. You think Psycho, Collymore, Colin Cooper, don't you? All that era. From that shirt. Interesting. When I was putting my rack together yesterday, my partner comes in, oh, I don't like that one, and she picked that one out. I thought, what are you talking about? No taste here with football shirts. But yeah, and again, that one they've reproduced, haven't they, recently, haven't they? But yeah, that colour is quite unique, isn't it? There's not many. I think maybe Bristol City had an away shirt that colour back in the 90s, but not many teams have had that shade, especially with the turquoise.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really, really nice shirt, and it's one of the when I was starting collecting shirts a good number of years ago now, it's one of the shirts that is the first one I think I got, because obviously as you get older and you had like a lot of the shirts in kid sizes, then you think I need like large, extra large, etc. I need to obviously get these shirts in, but that's an I've got the one what I've got is Pierce on the back with the Premier League arm badges, and it is a really, really nice shirt. So. And even the home shirt, that was iconic. That was a bit different because obviously it had black on it for the first time. And I don't know the reasons why they had the black on it, but I didn't think it was too bad of a kit. I think it's quite neat, nice with the Forest badge, but on a shield, wasn't it?
Yes, again, the black slightly different, wasn't it? I think that's probably about one of the first kits we had ever with black on, wasn't it, on that part? Again, I think it's looked at with fond memories as well because of a good season, getting into the UEFA Cup on that first season of coming back up, isn't it? And Collymore and Brian Roy causing absolute chaos in the Premier League wearing that shirt. It's a super one, isn't it? A real super one. The year of lockdown, I asked the family to club together, and I got hold of one of the long sleeve versions of that one. So I've got Scott Gemble's long sleeved Labatt's one, and it's probably my favourite one, or one of my favourites.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of them knocking around on eBay, match issue ones,
yes,
with just a number on, etc. But again, it's a lot of money. I think the guy on eBay in question, he's wanting about 300, 400 quid for them. It is a lot of money, but they're still on there, and they've been on there for some time because obviously they're quite expensive. But going back, it is such an iconic shirt with a lot of great memories during that season. So, but in the summer of '95, then we kept because back then we used to have like the home shirt, didn't we, over a 2-year cycle. But then the Labatt's yellow one come out, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but did you know there's an error on the shirt? There's a spelling error.
Yes, but only literally in about the last 3 months. I've been alert. Yes, someone's mentioned this. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it in the writing? Is it FORSET or something?
Yes, something
is that
like
right?
That. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's a bit Marmite, that shirt, isn't it? Because back at the time, like Forest fans loved it. Then some says it's horrible, and now, a few years ago, people were saying, "Oh, it's a horrible shirt with like blue vomit on it." And now, as the years gone by, and obviously we had the UEFA Cup campaign, then it is an iconic shirt again, isn't it? So it's kind of like I say, it's a very Marmite, that shirt. What do you think?
See, I like it. I think it's because it's different. It's that sort of 90s Umbro. It's that sort of mid-90s sort of Oasis. Everything's a bit baggy, isn't it? It sort of fits with that era. It's one of those shirts. Whenever you see an article, either in a magazine online, top 20 worst football shirts, it always ends up in theirs somehow as well. I think it's definitely disapproved by other football fans more than Forest. But yeah, I haven't got a problem with it. I don't mind it at all. What about you?
I like it because of the memories, but going back to like worst shirts, when the polls come out regarding the Premier League, remember Chelsea's tangerine and graphite shirt?
Oh yeah, like the Coors Lager, that one.
Yeah, that's
that one,
yeah, and that I think that's just as bad. But the goalkeeping, the goalie shirts in the 90s, they were horrific. Some of them, it's like they must have gone to a rave or something like that, and let's see how many colours we can get on a goalie shirt.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to 1865, the Nottingham Forest podcast.
As we got relegated in 97, we changed kit sponsor. Labatt's was discontinued, and we had Pinnacle, which was, I'm sure Nigel Ray, who was a director of the club. I think it was one of his companies, wasn't it? And
yes.
It's been a discussion with my mates, and there's not many around. So basically, the 96-97 home shirt with Labatt's on it, basically they took the Labatt's off it and put Pinnacle on. Did the club ever sell that? Because there's not many about, is there? Everybody, you see a lot of people wearing the Labatt's sponsored shirt design, but you don't see many of the Pinnacle ones, do you?
No, definitely not. Yeah, it's sort of 90% Labatt, more than 90% of Labatt's when you see that shirt, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think they did sell them in the catalogue for that season. They are for sale in Pinnacle version. So there must have been a retail offering of some sort of them. Whether it was a limited run or a limited amount sold, I don't know. But yeah, super rare, aren't they? They're not frequent, either coming up for resale or even people wearing them. They are slightly different. So the Umbro badge on the Pinnacle one is embroidered, and the Nottingham Forest FC bit down near the base hemline, that's embroidered as well on the Pinnacle one. But yeah, just slightly different. I'm not sure about you. Whenever I used to wear that shirt back in the day, the first thing people would say, "Who are Pinnacle?" No one had a clue, did they? Labatt's was quite commonly known, but Pinnacle, no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I think the 90s was basically, if you wasn't one of the top clubs, you always used to get a beer or alcohol sponsorship, and then Pinnacle, like you said, was a bit different. But I thought the away shirts were simple and nice during that period. I mean, there was the white one with the band going down the side of the shirt because the badges were put in the middle back then, weren't they?
Yeah.
And the blue Pinnacle shirt, I think that's iconic. I think it's iconic for the reason we beat Doncaster Rovers 10-2 on aggregate, and that is still a record. Actually, it's still the highest aggregate score for like a round one in the League Cup, or what's it called now, Carabao Cup, isn't it? So yeah, it's still a record, that is. We got promoted 97-98. Then obviously Van Hooijdonk went on his infamous strike, and club started falling apart again. Kevin Campbell, God rest his soul, he went to Trabzonspor. Colin Cooper went to Middlesbrough, and just the season was over before it began. Going back to, I thought it's a bit too plain and is a bit of a boring shirt, but it's the one shirt out of my collection I haven't got because I've never been bothered about getting it, and I'm like thinking, I should get it now just to complete the set because I've got every shirt in the 90s now. That's the one shirt I'm missing. But what did you think of that shirt?
Oh, you've got to get it. You've got to snap that up next time it comes up. I'll keep your eyes peeled for you. Yeah, I think it's a bit. It goes back to what we said earlier on about good seasons make great shirts. It just had a horrible feel to it, didn't it? It was the shirt was bland. It was a bit boring, and unfortunately, it summed up what we were seeing on the pitch that season, wasn't it? It was functional, but it wasn't. It certainly wasn't setting the world alight, was it?
No, because it's like when Van Hooijdonk come back, he had 40 on the back of his shirt, opposed to the 9 what he had the previous season. But because in Division 1 you just had the number, you didn't have the name set, did you, on the back? And then Van Hooijdonk come back, and then literally he come back, and we know he was like tall and gangly, but I didn't think he was that stocky. But then when he come back, he just looked a bit more stocky, and they put that shirt on him. I'm sure it was oversized just to get the Van Hooijdonk on and obviously he scored against Derby and nobody celebrated with him.
Forest, one down minutes ago, are now in the lead, and Van Hooijdonk has a very private celebration. In fact, the only man who's gone over to him is the scorer of the first goal, Dougie Freedman.
Probably summed up that season, really.
Yeah, and then we mentioned Big Ron getting in the wrong dugout, have we? That's
yeah, exactly.
Epitomises the carnage.
Yeah, fresh from being on the beach in Barbados, and I'm back, lads. It's all about me, and then goes to the wrong dugout. It's like if anything could go wrong that season, it did. So we obviously got relegated in '99, and then we kept that home shirt and. Did we keep any of the white pinnacle? Did we get rid of that? And then did we bring the blue pinnacle, which was a very similar colour to the blue Labatt? Was that season? I think it wasn't it?
I think we did one season, first Platty season. I think we had some combination of those shirts. There has been the odd one for sale with what would that have been 99 2000 nationwide league patches on, which would be match shirt. So I think we used them on certain games, not a lot, but I think they were away in third for that season as well.
Because we signed the infamous 3 Italians, Manini, Petracchi and Matricano, and they were actually unveiled in the new away shirt that season, which was the black. Well, it was very similar to the Man United away shirt with Vodafone, but theirs was white and blue, and ours was like black with the yellow piping on the arms. And that shirt had to become a training shirt, didn't it? Because obviously it clashed with the referees. So
nothing sums up Forest maybe more than that situation, isn't it? We release a football shirt that clashes with a referee's shirt. It's a brilliant combo, isn't it? Really, when you think about it, and it was definitely intended as a match shirt at some point, because Steve Chettle put a short sleeve version up for charity auction probably about 4 or 5 years ago online, and that was out of his collection. And I've got it actually in long sleeve. It's probably the rarest shirt I've got in my collection. I probably got it about 2007, 2008, about that time. So it's Chris Bart Williams's black shirt in long sleeve with the name, number and nationwide patches on. So they must have produced full kits for that particular kit. But yeah, they just never got used. I've never seen anything like that online before. Never seen any pictures. It's a bizarre one.
Yeah, with the black shirt, you would have thought that somebody at Forest would have done a bit of due diligence and and like put it against what's going to be on the pitch on a Saturday afternoon, and then realised, the referee's wearing black kit kind of thing. So so after those kits, we still had Umbro, we still had Pinnacle, and looking back, I thought the shirts were played it very safe. If you remember, it was like predominantly red with just like a white line around the shirt and everything, Pinnacle and everything. And basically, the away shirt was flipped, wasn't it? So it was obviously predominantly white with red ribbon around the sponsor and everything. And then we did bring a third shirt out, didn't we? Was that the blue shirt? The blue, navy blue with the green on it. Was that that was the same period, wasn't it?
Around that time, yeah. I think that one was just after. So the blue with the one you're talking about, I think that was the playoff season, wasn't it? That was 02-03, where we had like Darren Huckabee and Johnson, and then Sheffield United did us in the playoffs. That was that season. But there was also there was that other blue one, wasn't it? It was a really thick shirt, that previous blue one, wasn't it? We had as well from the away shirt just before those red and white versions you were talking about. But yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? Because that home shirt, the neck collar was very strange, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Weird to wear.
Because I wore the blue pinnacle one of that era it would have been a few months ago. I thought it was dead uncomfortable. It's like, when you go to the barbers and they put that like tape around your neck so the hair doesn't go down your back. It was like that. That's what it feels like. It's just it is a nice looking kit, but wearing it's a bit, it's not great. But during that period, I just thought Forest played it very safe with the kits, like not really that manageable, was it? When you look at it, it's kind of like it looks a bit plain and no real thought's gone into it. But then after the playoff season, we changed sponsor again. Pinnacle dropped, Capital One come in, and the Inter Milan shirt, that's quite a nice shirt, isn't it? But I just thought the two, the home shirt and the away shirt, that it was like pure white, wasn't it, with the black? I thought again, very boring kit, not a lot going on. And during this time, Forest played it safe, didn't they, regarding shirts?
Yeah, especially the away shirt, wasn't it? Yeah, very plain, wasn't it? It wasn't. It wasn't inspiring, was it? Unfortunately, I think the only good thing about that shirt, it looks better when you have because we were obviously nationwide, and then they swapped to Coca-Cola. So the first season's Coca-Cola arm sponsors, and the Coca-Cola ones actually look quite smart. But the Inter Milan one, very different, isn't it? And I'm sure we'll come on to the famous yellow Brazil kit in a minute, but it's amazing Forest playing at that level, resembling Inter Milan. It's chalk and cheese, wasn't it, really, when you think about it?
It was the first time I saw that. We played Ajax in a pre-season game. We were losing 2-0 and we did draw the game 2-2. But looking back, I don't think it's that bad of a kit, is it? So
no, I think you think about Andy Reid and people like that back in the day wearing that big baggy shirt on Reid, and it's something different, isn't it? People, I usually have mates take the mickey out of us, obviously the Inter Milan resemblance, thinking it's something we're quite not, but it was good.
Because Andy Reid scored that iconic goal down at Upton Park, if you remember, because they got relegated from the Premier League, and we wore that Inter Milan style shirt that night, didn't we? And that's again another iconic moment in a shirt.
Yeah. That's the first player I think of. That goal at Upton Park, wasn't it? A very good one, good strike.
So unfortunately, in the summer of 2003, that playoff side was broken up. Shimika went to Leicester. Obviously, Jim Brennan went to Norwich. Huckabee wasn't re-signed, and it started to fall apart. Then we stayed up the following season, 03-04, but. As soon as 05 comes round, and if you remember, serious about promotion, and we had that shirt. It was then an England template shirt, wasn't it? If you remember that kind of design,
almost like almost like dots on, wasn't it?
With the I think that was the first time we had the 2 stars on the shirt. If you remember,
it was on the collar, wasn't it? Just on not collar, sorry, on the sleeve. On the white little section on that.
It was, and it was like that again. We're serious about promotion. We thought we were going to throw a load of money at it, and it didn't really materialise, did it? And we got off to a poor start, if you remember. And Kinnear, he resigned just before after the Derby game, before the Leicester game, the Christmas of 04. Then, in my view, the worst manager we've ever had in our history rocks up in January 2005. And he's the man to oversee our relegation. I think it's the first time since the 50s, wasn't it, that we dropped into League One, and then
the first time European champions as well done it as well, isn't it?
Exactly. And I thought it was. Then we unveiled the away shirt, which I thought it was a piss take at the time, and I still think it's a piss take. We got relegated, and we brought this Brazil shirt out. Honestly, we couldn't have been any further from how Brazil played when when we rocked up in this shirt, and looking back, it is a nice shirt, but at the time, it's like, what you doing, kind of thing. Would you agree?
Yeah, right shirt, wrong time, is it? No, nothing sums up that shirt more than we went to Woking away, wearing that kit, and we get dumped out by Woking, and wearing the Brazil kit, and you think, this combo is not working. This is not what Brazil are thinking.
Because we played Warsaw, and notoriously we could not beat Warsaw. They were up in the noughties. They were absolutely our bogey side, and we played them down at the Bescott Tuesday night. I think it was the second game of last season. And it was just carnage. If you remember the Portuguese player, Jorge Leitão,
rings a bell.
He went around Runa Pedersen, and he lost the ball and he dived, and the referee gave a penalty. Runa Pedersen was sent off, and Matty Fryatt scored the penalty, and Forest fans were going mad in that away section, and they were chucking drinks, hot dogs, you name it. And basically, Matty Fryatt, I've actually asked Matty Fryatt about this when he was a Forest player. I did ask him about this game in particular, and he says, it was probably not the wisest moment as a footballer, but he basically went to the front of the stand. He was eating a hot dog, and he was like telling the Forest fans, like, come on, kind of thing. And Forest fans are absolutely irate, and we wore that Brazil shirt that night as well. And it was just like, like you just said, it wasn't the best shirt at the time, because everything was just awful with Forest at that time. But if you remember, we played Barnsley at September time. It was a foul day, absolutely chucked it down. And obviously going up to Barnsley, that was like the capital of coal mining for Yorkshire up there, wasn't it? And you're getting called scab spy at 10-year-olds and everything. And if you remember Gino Padula,
yes, the Argentinian.
He slid in for this ball, and because it's a wet surface, he's carried on sliding, and he's took Megson out, hasn't he? And he's put him, he's put him straight on his arse. And even though Forest lost 2-0 that game, that's probably the highlight of Megson being a Forest manager, being dumped on his arse by his own player. Summer of 06, then Coldwood comes in, and it's still Umbro, and it's still Capital One. I remember buying the home shirt was very plain again, wasn't it? If you remember, it had the Coca-Cola font for the name sets on the back. But again, we played it safe, didn't we, this season with the kits?
Yeah, well, not much change, was it? It felt almost a little bit Umbro stock sort of shirt, didn't it, as well, didn't it? There was no... I'm not sure about you, I really like a shirt that's got almost like a pattern within the material. Yeah. And those shirts, just plain fabric, wasn't it? It had no sort of character or identity.
Yeah, because I think we did bring out the away shirt wasn't too bad, if I remember. If I'm right in saying, we had a white away shirt, and we had a navy blue away shirt with like a lighter blue on the shoulders, and I thought that was quite neat during that season as well. So, like I said, I think they played it very safe then, didn't they?
Yeah, and also that's the sort of era. Suddenly we're bringing out sort of like a third shirt every year at that point, don't we? The commercial aspect starts kicking in. Gone are the days where we're stumping up 2 shirt values. Suddenly we're on to 3, aren't we? Yeah. Season in, season out.
So we got promoted in obviously May of 2008. We beat Yeovil on the final day of the season, and it's a return to the Championship after a 3-year absence. And the Umbro kit this season, I thought they were both very, very nice, because that was if you remember it, that season would have been, if I'm right in saying, 30 years since the first European triumph against Malmo. And if you remember, they had the shirt with the Olympic Stadium around the side. And I thought it was a bit different. Forest really thought about this shirt, didn't they?
Oh yeah, really personalised, wasn't it? You had the Cloughy quotes on the was it on the rear hemline as well, wasn't there? There was a Cloughy quote on there as well, and it did. That was the first shirt in a long time which I wore out of going to Forest, and people commented and liked it. Other football fans, there was definitely a difference to that shirt compared to the ones in years before that. Yeah,
and I think this time. Umbro were bringing out a tailored range, if you remember. We started, I think it was the season after, where we did get like a more of a tailored shirt, if you know what I mean. But Umbro like changed their design, and even the training wear was very neat as well. I thought that, and some of the coats which I've still got upstairs, they were very nice as well. You could like wear them for like every day, not just for like, I don't know, going like to Forest, or you could wear them out and like if you were shopping or something like that. So I think Forest at this time they were getting their act in order of like having some like decent stuff on offer for fans in the club shop.
Yeah, they definitely felt a better quality than they'd been before, and they suddenly it felt almost football. That football crossover to fashion, wasn't it? It was starting, wasn't it? Even that the second playoff season on the Billy Davis, it was a very plain red shirt, wasn't it? The Victor Chandler ones, but
Yes.
again, it felt quality, and again, they're performing on the pitch, don't they? That makes a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, that the playoffs, it always goes back. If your team's doing well, everybody will remember that shirt because of the memories, what it brought and everything. So, so summer of 2011, Billy Davis, for whatever reason, was sacked, which I think Nigel Doughty, God rest his soul, I think he probably regretted that decision. Where I think Billy Davis has done the rounds, hasn't he, in the last couple of months, telling us about his time at Forest and everything. And yeah, people were advising him to get Billy Davis out the door, and obviously he listened to them rather than listening to himself, kind of thing. And Billy Davis was sacked, and the Wally with the Pirelli Steve McLaren comes in, and that shirt that season, I thought it was that was the tailored range, if you remember. I thought it was quite reminiscent to one of the Shipston's home shirts from like late 80s, early 90s. It was very, with the collar and everything. Would you agree? It was similar to that.
Yeah, it definitely felt old-fashioned, didn't it? It felt like maybe even earlier than that, wasn't it? I like it probably more now, but at the time I wasn't a massive fan. I thought the fabric was very thick, and it felt a bit rugby-like more than football, didn't it? Going from that, but the tailored side of it, isn't it? It clips up. It's got the nice collar, and also I'm not sure what you think. Suddenly, in that sort of era, the tailored bits, suddenly shirts felt better wearing. They were more fitted, weren't they? Gone are the days where everything's super. But even some of the shirts now I stick on from the 90s. I might have a large one. They're like a gazebo sticking them on. The fabric, Umbro wasted back in the day making these shirts is phenomenal.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS.
You're listening to 1865, the Nottingham Forest podcast.
So in the summer of 2012, Fawaz comes in, and we think, great, and how a billionaire, is he a billionaire? Where's the money coming from? Then Cousin Omar rocks up, and Abdulaziz, and you think, oh, we're onto something here. And the shirt for that season, I thought the blue one, which on pie on the front, I thought that was a really, really nice shirt. I think it was really, really smart. Again, from the Umbro tailored range, and that was iconic if you remember, because did McGugan score against Bolton? He scored a really good goal wearing that shirt in a 2-2. I think it was 2-2 and at Bolton when they got relegated, and I thought it was a really smart shirt.
Oh, something different as well, and also quite a cool launch to it as well, with Cole Froch wearing it as well, wasn't it? It was almost like it was a Nottingham thing, not just Forest, wasn't it? But the marketing team had done well with that one, and it's nice, really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I did sell it a few years ago when probably had Guardiola on the back of it, and I think I must have sold it about a couple of years ago actually, but it is an iconic shirt. I know that season we didn't really do anything with obviously all the connotation with Sean O'Driscoll leaving, then McLeish comes in.
Were we fifth in the table after beating Leeds, weren't we, at Christmas, weren't we, O'Driscoll?
Yes. And then Kalish comes in for about 40 odd days, and Davis comes in. After a couple of years of Fawaz being the owner of the club, Umbro was dropped in favour of Adidas, and at the time you think, great, Adidas are coming in, as we've mentioned, iconic Adidas shirt. Never really happened, did it? Because it seemed that we just used to get hand-me-downs from Sunderland, and I've actually seen this in the club shop where I've gone in, and on the tag, even though it's a Forest shirt, on the tag it's a Sunderland shirt, and because of the 150th anniversary, I mean, we'll talk about it in a second. We absolutely balls it up, didn't we, in terms of what we did in terms of celebration with the slightly darker red. It was like a burgundy claret red, wasn't it, with the gold? And basically that was just a knockoff of Sunderland shirt, if you remember. I think they had something very, very similar. But yeah, Adidas didn't really work under the Fawaz regime, did it?
No, it was a massive fanfare of a launch, wasn't it? Adidas are back, Forest back with Adidas, slowly rekindling sort of glory days, wasn't it? But yeah, again, a stock-looking shirt, didn't it, as well? Yeah. Really stock-looking. It could have been, take the badge off, it could be Sunday League, couldn't it? Yeah. And I think also as well, when you said a good sponsor makes a good shirt, the sponsors those shirts could be decent ones to wear now, couldn't they? But unfortunately, the sponsor you can't bring yourself to do it.
It's like, because Fawaz refrigeration on the front, and it's like, do they exist? And I don't want to go too deep into it, but they don't exist. They never existed. Because I know somebody who tried, I won't mention names, but he tried to buy a refrigeration unit just to see how legit this company is. And he actually got in touch with a major bank and says, is this company registered? No, they don't exist.
No way, really?
Don't exist. So it was just...
It doesn't surprise me.
No, because so it's just the front. And if you remember, there was nothing in the club shop either. The Adidas was basically, even the jackets, if you remember, you used to have like a navy blue jacket with the fluorescent yellow, green, 3 stripes. And basically every club who had Adidas at the time had that as their like bench jacket. Sunderland were the notorious ones. And yeah, I know we had problems in terms of getting stock in because we didn't pay the bills and things like that. But yeah, Adidas, I just thought for that period, it was an absolute disaster, wasn't it? Right, commercially, the club was a disaster back then.
And also, things like the training kit as well. Some of the tracksuits really quite smart. Some of those Adidas tracksuits in that period. But you've got, on one side, you've got the embroidered Adidas badge, and then the Forest badge is just like a transfer badge. And you think it could have been so much more, couldn't it, of that era?
Exactly. And obviously... during the season it was meant to be our prestigious 150th anniversary, and the club did absolutely nothing. No surprise really. I mean, the kit they brought out, especially the away kit, which was the yellow with the blue pinstripe, was down at QPR, and I thought it was iconic. But what lets it down is the sponsorship on the front, Fawaz, and at that time, things were starting to unravel pretty quickly regarding his ownership and sacking managers and the money not really being there. And I think, at that point, it was starting to all unravel, wasn't it?
Oh, totally. I'd love to know how many Q80 bank holidays actually exist as well, isn't it? Because that tended to cause a few issues with direct debits and standing orders, wasn't it? Unfortunately. Exactly. I'm not sure what you think. You see more and more shirts from that era, people wearing without sponsors as well. My mate wears, he wore the 150-year one, actually, to the Cup semi-final, but he's got it with no sponsor, and my brother's got it as well. And it looks so much better without a sponsor. It's a neat shirt without the Fawaz bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, Spot lets it down there, doesn't it? So, but can you remember the game against Sheffield United? And we lost 3-1, and the cup, the draw for the next round was already made at half time. So Forest were 1-0 up, and they'll lose the game 3-1 against Sheffield United up at Bramall Lane. Nigel Clough's the manager of Sheffield United, and the shirt what we wore that day, it looks like it was from a lost property box, if you remember. It's just kind of, I'll have to get a picture of what it actually looks like, but I don't think it was Terry the Kitman's finest hour pulling this shirt, this kit together. But it's awful. So Fawaz falls on his sword in May, I think it's May 2017, wasn't it? And
we just stayed up, didn't we? We just stayed up against Ipswich, didn't we? We wore that next season's home shirt, didn't we? The pinstripe for that.
Yeah, and we haven't done that for a long time. I thought it was a really good thing that Ipswich game, there's a lot riding on it with obviously Mr. Marinakis taking over the club and everything. Staying in the league was absolutely pivotal. And it's like, I just felt it was commercially, it was a bit of a sea change with Forest. It's like, right, these guys know what they're doing. We knew they were like in the background probably from the January, because obviously Montagnier got the sack. And Warburton come in to obviously keep us up and everything. So you knew they were like milling around in the background. But this is the first time we've ever done it, I think, where we've worn a kit for next season's kit the season before kind of thing. And that pinstripe with the 88 Sport, I thought it was a really, really nice shirt. And again, pinstripes always works for Forest, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're going full circle, aren't we? What we were speaking about, those early 80s ones when they went to pinstripe. It just works. It breaks up the red, doesn't it, as well?
Yes.
And like you say, wearing it in that game, I think most of us think of Chris Cohen charging towards that touchline, didn't it? After that, what was that, the second or I think it's the third, wasn't it? Was that the third? And it almost cemented it.
Yes.
Trent in goal, top corner. Yeah. And it suddenly that shirt has a memory attached to it. That suddenly makes it a good day shirt.
Yeah, and I mean, right at that time, the Adidas shirts were, and we all knew there were templates, but they weren't bad.
I'm not sure about you. I do like yellow or blue. I do like those colours of away shirts, isn't it? White as well. But yeah, either of those three combos seem to be Forest.
In March 2018, Forest announced a kit deal with Italian manufacturer Macron, and at this point, the shirts started getting madder and madder and madder. I mean, we brought out some. There was a couple of like gold. There was the gold shirt, wasn't there? Then there was the camouflage and everything. And looking back, you think obviously, I'm probably showing my age here, where it's like, I probably wouldn't be seen dead wearing them. But as we've said again, that the more iconic a season is, the more iconic the shirt is, and that high vis where we wore it against Barnsley, which you could just sense at that point. So we were just turning under Steve Cooper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that season with the high vis shirt, wearing it at, did we wear it at Bristol?
Yeah, Bristol City, yes, Lyle Taylor,
Yeah, where we, in seasons gone past, we never win at Barnsley or we never win at Bristol. And I just thought at that point, something different's happening here.
Yeah.
And then we get all the way to Wembley. I mean, with every single game that season, we treated it as a cup final, didn't we? It was kind of like, well, we only got 1 point in the first 8 games, and it's like that momentum grew. But I thought Macron shirts were all right. I mean, the sizings were a bit odd, weren't they? If you was a large, that you had to get an extra large to fit in it properly. But when we regained our Premier League status in summer, back end of the 21-22 season, and we went into the Premier League, I thought the Macron shirts with the commemorate Trent Bridge, I thought that was quite iconic, and probably the first time in a long while where it seemed that kit manufacturers produced as a bespoke shirt, and I thought they were quite nice, those shirts were.
Oh, definitely. They dialed into the city, didn't they? When, like I say, when we first went to Macron, you think, oh, that's a bit of a shame. It's not quite Adidas. And you think, how is this going to go? Some of the early shirts weren't bad, were they? Again, I'm not sure what you thought. I thought the Macron ones were really good quality. Again, the training kit was very similar to that. Some of the jacket, they all seemed to be good kit, didn't it? It certainly was decent stuff. But towards the latter part, they were brilliant, weren't they? Really good.
I think with any Italian manufacturer, I think whatever they bring out, it's quite stylish. You can wear it every day. I've still got like some of the training like pullover tops, and they're really nice. It's like they're not too thick. You can wear them all the time, and I thought they were quite smart. And the jackets were all right, but over time the stitching starts to come away, kind of thing, which is a bit annoying. But they did bring a really nice gilet out. Macron did, navy blue, and it's quite a reasonable price. I think it was only like 40 or 50 quid, where stuff like that it's usually close to the £100 mark. But I thought Macron, the kits were iconic in terms of different because Forest, like we've said, we played it very safe. It was either template or very plain shirts. But yeah, I thought the Macrons were very different, and even like I said, the camouflage and the gold kit from that time, I thought they were quite nice.
Oh, it definitely was the era of suddenly the third shirt is the norm now, isn't it? I think I haven't seen anything for this upcoming season. I've only seen those ideas for home and away. It'd be interesting if we have a third shirt this season as well, wouldn't it? But yeah, suddenly third shirt is the norm, isn't it? But yeah, that yellow one, isn't it? You still see lots. The steward shirt, isn't it? You see loads scattered around the ground, but it feels like we've got lots of stewards in the stand.
McKenna's on hand, but so too is Garner. Garner to whip it. Yates has scored! Forest breakthrough!
Just to finish off then, in the summer of 2023, we announced that we were returning to our old kit manufacturer from Germany, Adidas, and now we're a Premier League club. The kits have been quite nice, I think, and even some stuff what you can get in the club shop, like the t-shirts, what you can get, and obviously the tracksuits. I know being a Premier League club, it's completely different to say if we was in the Championship, but yeah, being Forest and Adidas, they like work hand in hand of years gone by in terms of the European Cup days. And yeah, I just think in the club shop now, there's a lot on offer. I know, like I said, I know it's easy for a Premier League club, and you probably can sell more of it. But would you say Forest are doing a pretty good job in the club shop?
Yeah, commercially, we're at a different level commercially, aren't we? You get emails every week, don't you, with new ranges, different products, different style of products. Yeah, we seem to have got it a bit more, and we need to, don't we? We need to bring that revenue stream in every way we can do. And I think, the commerciality of the club is expanded month on month, isn't it? I think it's the offerings is huge, isn't it? Yeah, then go back to Adidas is good, isn't it? It feels a good fit again. I'm not sure what you thought. I thought first season back with Adidas, really template kit. I was disappointed with the first season with Adidas back again this year, but I thought last year's one really nice. That home shirts, it's one of my favourites. Not just we were good, but as soon as I saw it, I thought that's nice. It's something slightly different.
Because it had the stars in it, didn't it? And then obviously you had the sky blue fur shirt, and I thought that was again neat design and everything. So, but yeah, that the first season, being under Adidas, I thought it's a bit like you say template, but I think as with more established, we're probably going to get a bit more. Probably not the bespoke like a Bayern Munich or Man United, but it's slowly becoming a bit more like our shirt rather than like a hand-me-down template. Doesn't
it? Definitely. Yeah. So suddenly we've got a little bit more bargaining power, haven't we? A little bit more individuality, and suddenly they're realising we're a bigger fish than they thought originally, maybe when they first signed the docket.
Yeah. So finally, to finish off then, what are your 3 shirts from any team gone by? It doesn't have to be Forest, where they're the 3 shirts that I want to have in my collection.
Well, I'm going to go bias to start with. I will go Forest to start with. So I will go 85 Skull. That would be one definitely on there. For some reason, I've got a little bit of an affinity with Sampdoria as well. I'm not sure if that's because of Des Walker going there back in the early 90s. I do like that sort of 92 blue Sampdoria. I think it's ERG, the sponsor on the front. I do sort of keep a little bit of an eye open for them as well online. And probably the other one, I was silly to sell it. England did a really nice third shirt at around 91, 92. It was a blue one with 3 lines across the front. It was light blue. And I had one, and I wanted to buy a bike, and I sold it. I thought, what have I done?
My uncle actually gave me that as a young kid.
Oh, lovely.
But it's a bit of a sad story. I thought, right, it's in the loft. I'll probably put it in a bin line. It's in the loft, and I asked my dad, "Can you go and have a look in the loft to see if you can find it at my parents' house?" It's not there, and that shirt's probably worth about 400, 500 quid.
Yeah,
and I know it was a large, extra large, because when I put it on, it was like a tent on me. But obviously, I was only a young kid. But yeah, that's a shirt which is kind of like I wish I still had. But no, my 3 shirts. I always like that Bayern Munich shirt, late 90s, which they wore against Man United in the Champions League final where Man U won the treble. It was like a It's like a grey. I like that one.
Lothar Matthäus and that sort of. Is it always that era, or was that just after that?
It was still there. Yeah, that was it. Opel. Yeah, with Effenberg. Then the other shirt, I'd love to have a Parma one from mid-90s with Parmalat on the front.
Oh yes, yeah, very cool. Umbro again, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then I'm probably showing like my bias towards football Italian Serie A, because that was massive in the 90s. If you remember Gazzetta, I'll probably go for like 96 Juventus away shirt with Sony on the front. It was blue with the yellow stars. They actually wore. I think they wore it when they won the Champions League in '96 against Ajax. So
is that Kappa? Would that have been Kappa or?
That's right. Yeah, that's Kappa, right. Yeah. So some like really nice shirts. But I just thought like back in the day, Serie A Gazzetta was massive, wasn't it? And there's some really, really iconic shirts from that era. I mean, the AC Milan with Opel on the front, Lotto, mid-90s, that was nice when they had George Weah and all of that. So they're my 3 top shirts if I ever sold them on eBay or whatever. Thank you, Mark, for joining us for this 1865 podcast, talking about our collective history of Nottingham Forest shirts over the years. And thank you, listener, for joining us. We will be back during the just before the new season. So enjoy the summer and come on, you Reds.
Come on, you Reds, indeed. Thank you very much for having us at the Forest.
No problem.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.